who do we have with us here today?
Nate.
Joel.
Robert.
Kayne.
And Robert.
Because he is obviously the most important person here.
He is clearly boss bit.
I get twice.
Because he's the boss.
Yeah.
Like a mouse.
Shout out to unbranded drinks.
Yeah. Of which
Shout
I
out
don't
to
have
I
any
left
of.
mine over somewhere.
So, what have you guys done since last week?
Echo.
What?
This is the first podcast I've been in.
Why don't you tell us a bit about yourself then?
My name's Joel. I'm
Okay, that's
Hot.
enough information.
I'm part of this company. I
Sort
do
of.
things. I play video games.
He forgets he has PS3 cables we need.
Yes. I do a lot of other nerdy things, like things.
Like not washing your jeans?
What the fuck is that? There's like something on my
You know
jeans.
it's
What the?
good when he doesn't know what's on his jeans.
You're just like,
Doesn't smell like anything bad. Anyway,
you know what is bad though?
I do things.
Yes, you're doing things. Stop. God damn it.
That's what she said.
She says everything.
I know, right?
Yeah. What else do you know?
We're talking about Connie, right?
Oh. Fucking TPP.
Fucking TPP.
Very bad.
Government, you fucked up again.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's bad for not only YouTubers but cosplayers and
It's bad for everybody.
yeah.
It's bad for everyone that isn't a mega corporation.
Yeah.
We're not a mega
So basically, me and Australian government, right?
It's not even good for them in some degrees.
It's
Yeah.
not good for anyone except those
Except-
particular groups.
The Australian government did what it does best. Oh, America did this. Let's do it 6 months later.
Yep.
They also
Not America, we don't have to
still
follow everything.
did the bloody, oh hey, everywhere else is doing this. Let's not do this.
Well, it's actually funny because, like, when you were saying that America did it, Australia, like when America done, or like when other countries were doing the GST, they were actually advised Australia not to do it as it will ruin the economy. And Australia's like, no, it'll be fine. How did that work out, government?
Pretty damn badly.
Yeah.
The government's always going to suck though.
Oh yeah. It's politics.
Shout out to that. The government will never be able to please everybody though, because everybody's so different.
But that's the thing, I guess. But like, I think in terms of the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which I guess we should actually explain what it actually is, shouldn't we?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, for God's sakes, this is why you're on a tablet.
You can't even open the damn thing. Wow.
I blame the
Here,
government.
here, like this,
Like this
this,
week's podcast,
like
Joel's
this.
shit.
kickstand out. Kickstand out. It opens from the other side, so me doing this is really hard.
In the middle there's a little notch you can grab onto.
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Oh, right, I see.
It's on this side, isn't it?
That's the power charging thing. Yes, you can do it from there, but it's not advisable. Now you swipe up.
And there's no password for some reason.
Internet Explorer, everybody. Another thing that people fucked up. Well, he's looking that up. Tell me about your dog. I mean cat.
What the hell? No, that's not what I want.
Well, that's because you don't have Chrome on that. You're searching through Bing if you type in the search
You
bar.
just-
It's giving me diseases.
You just binged it.
I typed in.
That's why
He
you
also
never use Bing.
searched up TTP.
Oh, whoops, mistakes
Oh, wow.
were made.
Anyway,
Wow.
so tell me about your pussy.
So, my cat is the most annoying thing I've had to deal with recently. What's that about typing? I have a keyboard now. What's that about moving? I'm sleeping on your legs now. Bloody hell.
What? You just had it.
Do you have a cat at your house?
Technically I have 4 cats and 2 dogs. Across 2 houses.
He's a zoo.
Across 2 houses.
Where a what location, dog, cat?
I have 2 dogs and 2 cats at my stepdad's and 2 cats at my stepmom's.
But cats
Cats.
at your stage.
Yes, they'd never go inside though because they piss all over the carpet.
That's what cats do.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, that's what I'm
pull
doing.
up.
Yeah.
Technology, am I right? Do you have any,
Magnets.
how do
How
they
the
work?
fuck do they work?
Do you have any animals, Joel?
I have a dog, and I'm getting a blue tongue lizard in maybe a month. Because in Canberra you actually don't need a permit to have a blue tongue lizard.
I had one.
Yeah.
It just walked into my house. I'm like, yoink.
Actually, I really want to get a saltwater crocodile, like a little baby one. That'd be kind of cool.
You'll then flush him down the toilet.
No, that's our pet. That'll be our pet for the office, saltwater crocodile.
I do not have the insurance to cover that.
No.
Anyway,
About this TPP.
I'm trying to read what it is.
Any paragraph. Just read a paragraph.
This is a lot of information.
Well, yeah.
Just
legal
give us a start.
shit.
Read this first paragraph. First paragraph's always good.
Now, Malcolm sucked in, hot on heels.
Are you reading? Link in the description to this article.
Yes, please. I want to see what the.
That's
fuck
why I didn't
you're
want to read the
buying.
first paragraph. Okay, so basically, it's apparently supposed to provide more jobs, absolutely, and will open up markets and free trade. Blah blah blah.
This is great.
It doesn't say what it is.
Does anyone here have any idea?
Basically,
Besides, it fucks everyone over.
it's supposed to grow. It's supposed to grow. So here it says, in 10 years on, the United States economy will be 0.4% bigger as a result of the TPP.
Wow, 0.4%.
But
Wow.
it isn't a boost in the economic growth. It's just a boost. It doesn't really make any sense.
What sounds really gay?
Why don't we do this? Oh, well, I was actually going to search what is the TPP. Maybe we should actually research
Wow.
In other news, Xbox finally gives up.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about stuff other than that, because none of us know anything about it.
it. Well, good chat, guys.
Just,
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I know nothing about this.
Okay.
As well.
Oh my God, guys, we're doing.
Gotta remember, the Xbox did badly for the first couple of years of the 360 as well.
Yeah, true. Actually.
Yeah, so
It always makes a comeback in the end.
Microsoft has, officially gone on the record saying that with its Xbox One sales, it's not going to catch up to the PS4. It's currently lagging behind. It had only 2 months, being November last year and I think April this year, where it had higher sales. But out of the 2 months, out of however long they've been competing for, isn't that good.
Years.
Microsoft have actually been really cool about it. They're saying, yeah, Sony had a better product than this time. They won. He said that he obviously started out as a competition, to PS4 Expo, friendly competition. Now he's just like, yeah, Sony won. It happens, They are continuing to develop on the Expo. I mean, the whole backwards compatibility will be here shortly. Lots of other things. One thing that's not widely known yet, what's known but not talked about much, is the fact that your Xbox essentially will stop running the games and it will just be a connector, and that all the games will be run on servers and then you'll just get it streamed to your Xbox. Essentially meaning that you don't need the hardware in there.
Horrible.
At the
Well,
moment.
think about this for Americans though that don't have internet issues, where you can
Yeah,
then
true.
just have a server farm full of hardcore hardware processing, and then all you get is streamed
High
into the
def
back.
stream into your console.
I think in theory it works, but I think ultimately.
Theory it works. Reality
there's-
for the lower countries, it not so much.
It will work for America. It will be great for them, but
Yeah.
again,
but then
we won't.
Stuff like Australia, where you have a lot of instability with your internet connection.
We have instability. You have data capping rates, all sorts of
Yeah,
things.
Australia's
Let's
internet.
talk to Nate about that, since he knows a lot about
Australia's
being
internet is actually
slow
not
on the
that
internet.
good.
Fucking-
We have worse internet than Romania.
Yeah.
No, it is actually true. That's a scary part. Like, the thing is, though, it is just a joke. But I was going to say, even for Americans, I think that there is problems for Americans in regard to the fact that the internet goes down, or you can leave it open to other issues. I think ultimately, like, I guess even with a
but
console,
still, in America you more pay for speed.
You pay by the speed.
Yeah.
You pay by the speed than
than the actual limit itself. But if you look, you've obviously got things like Google Fiber, which is ridiculous. And in theory, this will all come to Australia eventually, and it all is.
Try in 30 years.
That's
Look,
eventually.
When our
That's the thing.
communications guy in
Is actually someone who knows
politics
what they're
is
talking
actually someone who knows what communication means.
You mean
Yeah,
like?
well, that's the thing.
You mean like how currently the one person who single-handedly stopped the full rollout of the NBN is now Prime Minister of the entire country?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That's the major issue, and I think that ultimately we lag behind. Like a majority of our internet cables are they're copper telephone cables.
They're rotting copper cables.
That were
Yeah, you
laid
go.
in the 60s, if not earlier.
Exactly,
Yeah, it's
and
why
that's
our
the issue.
internet's so unstable.
If
In
you,
newer places like Gungowan and all that, it's pretty stable.
well, that's the thing.
And
That's
fast.
because it's also fiber.
Yeah,
it's new lines. Like,
Um,
it's fiber, it's new, and there's backups.
I mean, like, okay, like the way that the NBN's being dealt with sucks, but that's because that's what they've been forced to go with. Like, by the time that they finish rolling out even fiber to the node in every location, that technology is already outdated.
That's it.
It's
Like-
outdated now.
And I think that's the issue with technology. I think that the fact is I like technology, but I think ultimately, regardless of what you do, you're always going to be behind. I remember buying, this is when ages ago, when the PS3 and the Xbox 360 came out, and I took about, it was about 2 or 3 years later, probably a bit longer than that, and I bought a PlayStation 3 and I was so excited. And I think within like a year, that's it. Like PS4 and Xbox One, like, you know, that's the thing. And I think ultimately, and the same thing's gonna happen. I actually don't have an next-gen console right now. I've got a Nintendo at my home. I've got a Nintendo Wii. I've got a PlayStation 3, and I've got a PS2. I think I've got an N64 somewhere. But basically, the thing is, as soon as I go buy a next-gen console, it's going to be 1 year later, and it's going to be new console out. The games will be on what you would call the Xbox One and the PS4 for maybe a few months, and then you'll have to go buy a new console.
See, but that's with that's with a consumer product though. That's always going to be the way they do it because that's the companies.
They want you to buy
Oh,
more.
absolutely.
That's the way it
Well,
works
I
these
think
days.
that's-
But
we
with,
release this, and then a few years later, we release something newer that's the same.
Yeah.
but
But better.
with the NBN, it's not like that though because that's an infrastructure product. It's not like
Well, that's the thing.
it's not like with roads. Like, oh, that road's out of date. You're gonna buy a whole new road now.
Yeah.
Like that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it's not like I guess it is a privilege, you know, compared to a lot of countries, but it's an infrastructure that's needed to
Well,
make
that's the thing.
our country work.
Well, yeah.
It's not just for downloading porn. It's for businesses and that
What is
kind
it?
of stuff.
What is it?
Not just
Porn and
business-
cats?
Not just businesses in cities. It was also aimed at businesses
I
out
mean,
in the middle of the
if you-
country.
That's the
Well,
thing.
you know, farmers.
If you look at the original goal of the NBN rollout before, when it was NBN Co, now it's NBN something else. They changed the name to whatever. They had to make a big focus on the rural areas that didn't even have copper internet.
Yeah.
They were getting so the entire country could be connected. And I mean, like, with the whole upgrading thing, it's because Australia's been so far behind for so long. To catch up to the current state, it's a bigger jump than any other country because we didn't take all those extra little steps in between. So we're going to be doing the full upgrade
Well, that's the
at
thing.
once instead of, what they did going along with the trend, which would have been cheaper.
Yeah, and I think that's the issue. Like as you said, it is an infrastructure. Like we need it. We actually, in this world today, if you try to live without technology, especially internet, it's extremely difficult. There are so many things we use.
You will miss out.
Communications, banking,
90%
news,
of games as well these days use
gaming,
internet. You require a full-time connection.
medical. Everything is online. It's not, there is still places where you can go and you can go get paperwork for medical stuff. But when you look at things like medical, all the medical records here in Australia are kept online.
Mhm.
All the social services, housing, everything. What did you say?
How's those?
Everything is kept online. That's how you do it.
I mean, like,
And that's kind of why they need to roll this out.
Yeah.
Well, exactly.
I mean, this
These
isn't.
copper lines are going to be gone soon enough. they are going to
At
end up
least-
corrupting.
At least they're smart enough. We're like, okay, at the moment we're not going to go dig up and put new lines everywhere, but if we're currently laying down a new suburb, we'll put fiber in there.
Yeah.
That at least they can do that. If they're not going to, redo all the network, at least they're not stupid enough to then put in copper in a new area.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like this isn't just from like obviously I own a technology company. We're all avid gamers and tech people. This isn't just from like a technology perspective. I mean, if you're not involved in technology, you will miss out. I mean, to bring think about like children in schools now. At year 3, they're teaching them websites and creating stuff and gaming and 3D printing in primary school. Because if they don't have those skills and aren't introduced to this, when they're our age, they're not going to get a job because they won't have anything.
Yeah.
Like it's all the future is technology. You
Well,
can't
that's it.
stop it.
And that's the thing. I remember back in primary school, year 6, when we had a computer lab and we done like things like type. I think it was like some online order typing thing. I was really fucking shitty at it, by the way. I think it had levels. I think I got to like level 2, and we done it for the whole year. So I was really bad at that. But I remember being bad at type quick. But I remember like I being like one of the best when it comes to when we were doing IT stuff. And it's actually because my dad, he works at an IT company. I'm not going to say the name, but
And so does my dad as well.
that's the thing. It's funny, I never actually got into IT though. I actually study events in tourism and things like that. But I do work for this company, of course, but like, that's the thing. Technology is there.
Yeah, it was
gonna
part of
continue
your
to-
background. You grew up with it.
And I think especially our generation, we had kind of what you would call two worlds. We had it kind of...
We were in the change.
We were
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
change.
There was a major change.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry.
We pretty much went from the slow stuff like dial-up and 128K modems.
Dually
to-
dial-up, people.
Yeah, exactly. We went from that kind of stuff to what we have nowadays, broadband and NBN and all that kind of thing.
Well, I mean, like I remember back in when we were in primary school, like you were saying,
I had some of the...
like, they were teaching us like here's Word, here's Excel, here's Paint.
It was
and
new.
We would saving it on floppy disks in the
Kid
school
pic,
library.
kid pics.
We had floppy disks. That's where we saved our work. And there was one computer lab in the entire school. Now you go to schools, everyone has a computer everywhere. But like, they're not. Schools aren't teaching Word and Excel and that anymore. They're full. The first thing they teach you is this is the internet. This is social media. This is
Yeah.
the hardware.
And I think
because kids,
Which wouldn't exactly
people just
be the best way to do it, considering they'll be all like, yeah, we depend on the internet entirely these days.
people do. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's
look
true.
at.
You seen a generic 18-year-old female without Facebook? It just doesn't happen
No,
anymore.
it's not.
I mean, like, I fully understand there's people out there, and like, even within this country that don't have access to the technology. They either can't afford it, it's not in their area, or circumstances like that, which does suck. And I know some of those people then do go on and be successful without it, but it does impede on them.
Yeah,
very much
actually-
so.
I would just go as far to say it's kind of not having some sort of education because it is very difficult.
I mean, you will always have to deal with it. I mean, even if you don't have any yourself or use it, you will always be a circumstance where you'll need to deal with someone else's, or part of your job will require technology.
That's the thing, like email, like the basics, email. Like-
Email, word processing, spreadsheets,
That's
public
it.
servant. Right
Basic,
there.
basic uses.
And that's the thing.
It's used in just about every job, though. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're a
it's-
builder. You need to look up this particular part. You need to order this particular part. You
Mechanics as well.
need mechanics.
Mechanics.
You might not know how to do a certain thing, so you look that up.
I mean, that's like, think about how many things are going online and cloud hosts and cloud these days. I mean, as far as, tradies that are in their own business or whatever, there's services out there like the lovely service that we're not sponsored by yet, FreshBooks, where it's all on their phone, you're at the job site, you type it in, done, invoice them, instead of going home and spreadsheets and Excel and making your wife call up and do that. There's still people out there, that's what the industry was, The tradie went out to work, the wife would stay home with the kid and do the bookkeeping. Now you've got services like FreshBooks that do that for you. Even companies like, say, Pepsi, who have competitions and events, they don't print out flyers anymore. It's all tweet at us or Facebook like us or go onto our website. Instead of flyers and signing and posting
It's
stuff.
all social media.
Well, that's the thing.
It's all online now.
And I think in one way it is good, but I think in the other way it is bad, because I think then could you actually end up going on to the fact that we rely on social media too much?
I mean, social media is good because it does give, you can connect with people and contact with a much wider audience than without it. But I also do feel there's a very strong need, especially in our country, to also have skills that aren't IT.
Well, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, like, this isn't like crazy end of the world, prepping for apocalypse, but like, people need to know how to grow a fucking carrot because, basic life skills are going to come in handy.
There has to be a mixture of skills.
Because you won't always be able to just, eBay yourself for carrots. You need to be able to source your own
There needs
materials.
to be someone that can make that carrot that you go on eBay to buy.
Because, think about all the jobs that are going overseas as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're losing skill sets as a country.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They're also closing a lot of other businesses, which is due to the fact that
it's cost as well. It is actually quite expensive to operate here in Australia. I know I'm not saying the laws are
Especially this
bad.
particular state that we're in.
Well, absolutely. And I'm not saying that's particularly bad. I think you need to have rights to protect employers and employees and businesses. But I'm saying the fact there has to be a certain limit. I think that, some taxes should actually be cut for certain businesses. I think that there has to be leeway between both sides. I don't think it should be like just full protecting the employer, but I don't think it should just be protecting the employee. And that's the issue. There's so many regulations now that it's just too expensive to operate. It is.
Tell me about it.
yeah.
I happen to
Click
own
here to donate.
I happen to own a company in this current hard financial time in this country, in this state, being the most expensive state.
Well, that's the thing.
At least most or second most currently. I don't know what the current stat is, but we were up at the top for the longest time.
We're not as bad as like look at Greece and especially the European countries. That's it. They're dead. They're done.
Well, I mean, if you look at it at the moment, there's the whole world's currently in hardship. Like, there's lots of stuff going on, but is that not just because there's giant changes coming and like the way that the world works and thinks is changing? Absolutely. And this is just part of it.
I think also the other thing is people go like, oh, it's the end of the world and stuff. Statistically, we do live in one of the safest times ever, but I think what actually happens is the fact there is so much media coverage.
That is a big thing.
Every time there's a shooting, it's every single one is televised, which makes
broadcast internationally, which
makes it seem like a lot when
it's not. There is currently less than there was previously.
Absolutely.
That is a whole big topic which we do not have time for right
Oh,
now.
absolutely. That's another podcast.
Subscribe to see next week. That way, I think.
Yeah, above
Yeah,
my
that
head.
way.
Somewhere.
One of these corners will have it. Depends on which way we end up putting it, the video. But like
that's the thing.
just times are changing. The whole banking system will have to change and adapt. It already has with online banking, but then the next step.
Being able to pay pass off your phone.
There will be.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Do you believe that there will be a time where it doesn't have to be friggin' Bitcoin and stuff, but where there is no physical currency?
I think they're already starting to do that.
Technically, physical currency is outdated, but do you believe that will happen?
I think to a certain, I don't know,
to a certain degree, it could happen.
Well, to the common person, businesses and stuff, but honestly, I never use cash. I have my card, and that's about it.
I think in one way it's kind of the fact if you lose your card though, that's it. But yet again, I think carrying cash is dangerous because
you can lose that. It's the same.
And people physically see how much you have. I think with a card you could have the dollar on there, or you could have 10 billion. But if you're carrying a dollar,
as well with the card, you can also just. If you have your phone, you can just call up and cancel your card.
That's it.
For example,
even if you don't have your phone, you can go home. You can pick up your landline, and you can go, "Hey, I need to cancel my phone."
Walk into a bank.
Well, the thing is, Combank, for example, you can lock your card instantly if you have the banking app.
Yeah.
The second, you don't even have to lose your card. Even if it's in your house, just lock it, and you can easily unlock it yourself.
What's the thing? I think services like that are clever. I think that's actually quite good because what you can do is you can lock it when you're at home, and then when you literally need to use it,
you can always leave it locked unless you're about to buy something as well for extra level security. Just unlock it when you're in line at the checkout or whatever, or when you're buying your lube for porn. Online. I don't know what you guys do. It's up to you. I don't judge. But with physical currency going away, before that happens, there could still be more technical advances. I mean, when it goes away, we might even not have credit cards per se.
I think
Again, it'll just be off your phone most of the time.
I think to the point of the phone, I think that it'll just get to the point in the future where you'll literally have a fucking chip in your arm, and that'll be it. You'll have one chip in your arm, and that'll be your banking, your social. That's it. You don't need anything else. It'll be a chip in your arm, and that's it. And I think that gets into a whole other topic that we...
So yeah, people then get into the whole, what about like hacking and mining like life and all of that. But that can currently happen with the technology that we've got. Someone can easily hack into your bank, your social security, anything at the moment.
It will always
It's not
happen.
easier. It's just people have this weird dystopian thought about it because that's what's portrayed in like movies and stuff.
Yeah.
Technology will always have its issues, but it will have its benefits. Like, I think that's ultimately what it is. I think that...
And technology's always advancing.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So security protocols, but like,
Yeah.
think about it. Like before banks had credit cards, they still got robbed. That's hacking back in the day was going in and shooting up a bank and taking the cash. That's the same as some guy in his dungeon, basement, hacking into their servers and transferring the money.
Well, that's the thing. I think
Just
that,
a new age.
Well, that's ultimately, it's banks up their security by doing something else. The robbers or the hackers will do something else. That's the way it's going to happen. It's always how it's going to, beg my pardon, sorry, happen. That's it.
I mean, and then like again with the no physical currency thing before we move on to landlines is I mean at the moment currency is worth nothing because do you know about like fiat currency and non?
Yeah.
I mean technically if you have a $5 note you don't have $5, you have $5 worth of debt because the currency it's not backed by anything.
Well, I think if you look at, and it's interesting because I think that when you look at Australian currency, it's controlled by a central, it's controlled by government, that's how it works. If you look at currencies like, I specifically want to say Bitcoin, I believe there's actually no like
It's
central
decentralized, that's why people enjoy it.
And I think Bitcoin's another interesting part because yet again, it's not traceable. And that goes into a whole other issue of things like you can buy illegal stuff with it. And
Not
that's
because
it,
drugs
you
are
can't-
set. I mean,
Well, there you go. Instantly saying, there you go, dark web.
But it doesn't have to be used for that.
But it doesn't
No,
have to be, but it can be.
It
So
can.
is that
So
another thing?
can current currencies.
Oh,
you
absolutely.
can instantly put in your credit card and buy a hitman.
But I think the
You
idea
could.
is that it's traceable. And I think that
Yeah.
when you
Again,
look at currencies
with-
like Bitcoin, yeah, it's not
with
traceable.
Bitcoins, you can now go to like a Bitcoin ATM and withdraw money.
Yeah, we've seen those.
We
there's
have
one
them
in-
in Civic.
Yeah,
no,
there's one
I
in
played the app
there's one in
store
our
a few
local
times.
mall. Well, not really local, but
One of the malls in our area.
Yeah.
exactly. You know,
I mean, it's like, people like will always have their stance on this and think that it's bad because they expect the worst and because the bad's always portrayed to them in, medias and films and stuff.
and that's the thing. Like, anyway,
Last topic, and the same sort of a thing, with fiber and all of that and the internet, how long do you reckon landlines are completely gone? I don't
Again,
have a service
starting-
one at my
they're-
house.
They're fading them out already. It's now going over VoIP.
I still
Yeah,
got
or
one.
like
I
a
still got
telephone.
one.
I can't. I don't own a handset, and I don't have the line set up for it. Like
Yeah.
every single person in my house currently owns a mobile phone.
It's just
Yeah.
as simple
Because
as
it's
that.
easier
that-
just to contact that person directly than call them home. Are they home? Are they not home? Who's going to pick up? Who do I ask for? Who's speaking?
Yeah,
At
when
the
you can
moment,
just
the
call the
only
person
use for
directly
it
on their
is
own mobile.
Literally outgoing calls, nothing else. Which would be much easier with an IP phone.
Yeah, it's what I have at my dad's place. Don't even have a landline at my stepdad's.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's other services out there. I mean, you can, I guess Skype people, call mobile phone call people.
There's Facebook messaging out. There is
Yeah.
Facebook call.
Video chats, FaceTimes, all of this.
There are so many ways of communication that I think eventually one will die out. I think, yet again, that goes back into social media. That goes into social media. If you look, social media evolves really fast. Like, Jesus, what do we have? Like, now we've got Facebook and stuff. And I think that it's quite interesting because I think eventually, and I know it's going to sound weird, but I think eventually Facebook will go away and it'll be something else.
Facebook will eventually die.
Because
yeah.
you look, there you go. I can think of
Everyone-
MySpace.
MySpace.
Bebo, MySpace, instant messaging eventually went, the IM thing.
They always die and
Which
come back as something
died
else.
and came back.
Yeah.
as
Exactly.
that.
Bebo's actually
Kayne.
back.
Yeah, Bebo's
Honestly-
back as just a video sharing.
If you
site
want
now.
to make millions of dollars, make an IM. There's always a new one. They always go broke and then come back and get bought out. Like, just make an IM client and
Okay.
just wait for someone to buy you
What
out.
is it? MSN turned into Skype.
Yeah. I said that like 5 seconds ago.
Mm.
I don't think
Speaking
it
of
might
companies going broke and stuff,
Yeah.
as a wrap up, interesting little fact, Nintendo has a shit ton of money. They can lose $250 million a year, and they won't even think about going bankrupt until 2035 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea that the company's hemorrhaging money to begin with, though.
What the fuck do they care? They're
Yeah.
sad.
True.
I mean,
All they need to do is develop some minor products that continue to sell all right, and they'll be stable.
Look how big a flop the first gen 3DS was.
what about that little? Have you seen the Nintendo little VX thing that they're?
Oh,
No, haven't even seen that.
No, it's a thing that they're currently working on.
I think Nintendo had some cool, like, I think Nintendo had
Imagine the
some cool
gamepad
stuff,
but being the entire Wii and being portable, so you can play
That's cool.
full games.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's essentially what they're doing.
I don't know, I think Nintendo has some good products, but yet again, I think
decent
that,
battery
I
life.
mean,
I think it's very key.
We all owned something Nintendo at a point.
Nintendo has some good ideas. They have some great original IPs out there as well. Like Mario is amazing.
Oh, of
Well,
course.
Mario.
If you game, if even if you don't like it, you know of him and you really played it once. In your
Yeah,
life.
and
Yeah.
then there's Smash.
Pokemon,
Oh, yeah, Pokemon's huge.
Pokemon
Metroid.
Go.
Metroid.
Do they own Sonic now? Or is that still
No,
owned by
no,
Sega?
that's still Sega.
I thought they bought out Sonic.
Sega. Because there's still Sonic games coming out on other consoles.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Skylanders. Pretty sure that's...
Skylanders is also on other consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who owns the IP for that?
Yeah, true.
I think it is Nintendo.
They might own the IP and just lease it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean-
but they've always been on PlayStation.
Honestly, as a
It's
final
exclusive.
point before we wrap up here, there's only like 12 companies in the world. They're all owned by some big major conglomerate if you look
of
it up.
course.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And the names of these companies
It's
you'll
a
never know.
giant
It's like
tree.
P&J Holdings owns like all of these other sub-companies.
ABC. Or Alphabet.
Alphabet. I mean,
Yeah.
the perfect example is the Australian banking thing. There's only actually 4 banks in Australia.
Yeah.
There's only 4 true banks. The rest are all just subdivides.
Oh, absolutely.
And on that note, having no money, we can't afford to run this podcast anymore, so it's over.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.